Hey friends, thanks for tuning in to the Leather and Lace podcast, where I explore that sacred tension between the physical and the spiritual, between body and soul. Okay, I have to admit, I am a little nervous about doing today's episode because I've never done a first time reaction before, and it kind of feels like I'm about to go on a blind date, which after almost 44 years of life, I've never done because it's always frightened me. So, yeah, I'm a little nervous. And to make things even more mysterious, the song that I'm reacting to isn't even in English, it's in French. But I am trusting the universal language of energy, sound, and soul to guide me through this. I'm Joanna, and I'll tell you more about it after this. Okay, welcome back. So, as I was saying, I am about to record my very first time reaction to a song called SOS d'un terrien en détresse, which in English means SOS from an earthling in distress, by an artist named Dimash. I want to first give a very special thank you to Romer Lopez, who emailed me insisting that I would not be disappointed by both Dimash's voice and the spiritual insights his songs offer. And apparently, though I've never heard of Dimash, nor do I think that anyone I know has either, Dimash is globally renowned for his voice and his heart. Now, I've intentionally avoided learning too much because I want to meet this song and this artist with a clean slate so that I can share my raw, real-time reaction with you. I also want to explore how something as physical as sound can open us to something as transcendent as truth with a capital T, even when we don't even know the language. Because art, when it's really potent, can bypass the mind and logic, the leather, and speak directly to our soul, to our lace. So today, I'm going to let the music lead. I'll listen with an open heart, and I'll pause to share my thoughts if anything comes up. And then at the end, I'll look at the lyrics in English and share the spiritual insights that come through. Okay, let's get this blind date started, shall we? All right. Let's push play. I hope this is a good video of this song. I don't really know.
Pourquoi je vis, pourquoi je meurs, pourquoi je ris, pourquoi je pleure. Voici le SOS d'un terrien en détresse. Plus j'ai mûri que sur terre, je prends de votre besoin, je solde de ma peau.
Okay, so far, I can see that he is very much in the zone. Like, he's in the flow of singing this song. His vocals are amazing and they're so delicate, but it's not just a show. There's something very authentic feeling in his delivery that he's really feeling into this. And oh my gosh, that little vocal change where his register got really low was just a little bit surprising, but it's kind of taking you into this journey of he's sharing something very intimate, something very emotional, but it's also like when his voice lowered, it kind of felt like, oh, this is so, it's delicate, but it's also so heavy. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm feeling right now, even though I don't know what he's saying. But so far, it's pretty cool. It's nice. Go back a little bit.
Wow! à ma force, je sens quelque chose qui m'attire. Allez.
Oh, wow. Okay, the vocals are definitely a showstopper, but when he was singing that last part where he kind of had more of a less delicate voice, I don't really know the right vocal terms for that. Is that head voice? I don't know. But there was just something so raw in that. Where for me as a person who likes to listen to people sing, I kind of like more of the rough rock kind of voices than like the really pretty voices. But I love that he can do both and how he juxtaposes these different voices together. And he in doing so, it's like exploring the gamut of emotions in even just the first 2 minutes of this song. It's just touching on all these different feelings, and honestly, like all the production and everything in some ways takes away from the song for me. Like he could just be sitting in a room. I would much prefer like seeing him in a room, with nothing else but like a chair or something, singing, because his voice doesn't need all of this production. And just seeing him be vulnerable, like this song feels very vulnerable. And I'm not sure if he wrote this song or not, but the way he's singing it, he feels very connected to it. So I am really excited to see the lyrics later, but for now, I'm feeling into it, and it's really nice. That's
Pourquoi j'ai fait?
awesome.
Pourquoi je meurs? Pourquoi je ris? Pourquoi je pleure? J'ai pas grand et des hommes perdus de notre monde. J'ai mieux vivre et sur terre. C'est jamais ça de l'amour. Le monde est
I'm sorry, I have to stop for a second. We'll go back a little bit here. I don't know what he's singing right now, but I find myself tearing up a little bit just because he is so passionate about what he's singing right now. And for some reason, it really does feel like, and I don't know if I'm getting a clue from the song title here, but he is speaking or singing in a way that feels like he's speaking to the part of me that's, always asking, like, what are we doing here? Why is everything so confusing, and why is there so much pain? I mean, he's on his knees singing and exploring all the capabilities of his voice, and it seems like he's asking this question of why, which is the question I like to explore in this podcast, right? Like making sense of our physical experiences and finding meaning in them, because I don't think we're just here for shits and giggles or to be tortured. I think that there is value in everything that we experience, and I feel like this song is asking that question, and I guess it's in distress because it's having a hard time understanding or sitting in that tension between our physicality and our spirituality. But anyways, let me go ahead and continue. Wow. Okay. My goodness. Well, right now, what I'm feeling is just appreciation for this young man's talent and the fact that there are millions and millions of people all over the world, maybe not yet in the United States because I'm unfamiliar with him and I don't know anybody else who is also familiar with him, but clearly he has touched millions and millions of people around the world and is making an impact with his pure talent for singing. But there's something else beyond the singing that I think people are resonating with. And so I'm excited to dive into the lyrics to see, you know, other than the singing, what is capturing the minds and hearts of people through this artist, Dimash. So let's take a look at the lyrics here. SOS of an earthling in distress. Why do I live? Why do I die? Why do I laugh? Why do I cry? This is the SOS of an earthling in distress. Wow. Indeed. Why do we have to do any of these things? What is the point of all of that? I've never had my feet on the ground. I'd rather be a bird. I'm not comfortable in my own skin. So, and I felt what he's communicating here in his voice. In that beginning, he is very tender. And then he has that little vocal change where it got really low. I'm not sure what part of the song he did that, but it makes sense that, you know, how he is feeling vulnerable and delicate, and I'm trying to understand why he feels so uncomfortable. And this reminds me a lot of the law of one concept of wanderers. Wanderers, you know, probably resonate a lot with what he's saying here, of feeling just like you don't belong here. You're so in distress about being here, having to experience death and sorrow. Okay, he says, I'd like to see the world upside down. If ever it were more beautiful. I'm not comfortable in my own skin. Wow, he keeps saying that. I'm not comfortable in my own skin. I must say, I resonate with that because I've always felt so alien. I still feel that way, and there's a whole lot of reasons, and maybe I'll have a video that goes into my past and my background, so you have a little bit more understanding of why this work is important to me. But okay, let me get a hold of myself. I'm getting emotional. But I get that. I absolutely resonate with not feeling comfortable in my own skin and just not feeling like I belong. And I think I was resonating with that energy when he was singing. It's just like this question. He just was so questioning. His singing and his voice was like in distress, but like just in question of like, why, you know? Okay. From above, I've always confused life with comic books. It's like I have needs of metamorphosis. I feel something that draws me upward. Oh, I'm also hearing the sentiment behind the Tool song Numa. In a way, I'm being reminded of the song Numa. I don't know how many Tool fans are listening right now, but there's something that is drawing us upward because, again, that is our true nature. We are divine light, but we are here, our foot nailed to this ground, because this is where we need to be. We're here to experience all of this. We're here to experience death. We're here to experience sorrow, and it is confusing. And I don't know if he's going to go into the purpose of that, but or if he's going to kind of stick to this just being in question. But there is purpose to that. And that's, again, what I like to explore on this podcast is, yes, we are in distress, but why and what is the purpose of that? And how can we learn to be here and answer this question? Now, we might never answer the question sufficingly, but there is a way to live in that tension between our true nature as divine light and as human beings with a lot of questions and a lot of fear. So yeah, if you don't know the song Numa by Tool, I recommend listening to it and listening to the lyrics, because this is kind of the same message. I feel there's a similarity in message anyways. Okay, at the great lotto of the universe, love that line. If ever it were more beautiful, I am not comfortable in my own skin. Yeah. It's really hard to feel that way, isn't it? Um, he's obviously speaking about the randomness of life, or the seeming randomness of it, the lotto. Some of us have it so good and some of us don't. What decides all that, right? In any case, he's not comfortable in his own skin, and he keeps saying that. And I think a lot of us resonate with that. And if he's gotten as famous as he has, I think I'm sure he is an incredible singer, but it has to be more than that. And it's probably because of his vulnerability in being able to, being brave enough to ask these questions. He's not just like, it seems to me there's a lot of famous people who like to sing songs about how fucking awesome they are, how rich they are, and how amazing they are, and all this bullshit. I much prefer humility like this, where it's like, you know what? I don't I don't feel comfortable. I'm scared. I have questions. That to me is so much more beautiful than just elevating yourself above everybody. So I love that he repeats that line. It really shows, his heart. I am not comfortable in my own skin. If ever it were more beautiful, I am not comfortable in my own skin from above. Why do I live? Why do I die? Why do I laugh? Why do I cry? I think I'm capturing signals which came from another world. I've never had my feet on the ground. If ever it were more beautiful seen from above. If ever it were more beautiful. Sleep, child, sleep. Oh, there's such a longing to be somewhere else, or and as if he's hearing something from another world. This is so, if you know the law of one, this has wanderers written all over it. When he says, I think I'm capturing signals which came from another world, he's not explicit about this, but I feel like that can be a source of hope. The fact that he's even acknowledging that there's this other world, right? And if he's in distress here on earth, to know that and to believe that there's another world, I think is our gateway to hope. And once he says that, where he says, I think I'm capturing signals which come from another world, he doesn't again repeat the line, I'm not comfortable in my own skin. What he says was, if it were ever more beautiful seen from above, right? From this elevated place, maybe from this other world, maybe it is more beautiful. And then he says, sleep, child, sleep. Maybe to me that feels like a metaphor for like, just let it be, let it be. And just be here in that tension of the not knowing everything, and just focus on, if it were ever more beautiful. Because it is. There's a different way of looking at this, of looking at things. And I think what I'm getting from this song personally is just connection with this beautiful artist who is vulnerable and isn't afraid to be humble and to express his own distress. And that's lovely in this day and age. Okay, wow. That was really beautiful. I can't even believe someone can sing that way. But what a beautiful talent that he's able to share with the world. And even though I was not aware of it, and so many people I know are not aware of it, I feel that he's probably going to make his way into a household name here in the States with that kind of singing. It just, maybe if he collaborates with somebody that is more known in the States, it could happen, but I don't think it needs to. Whatever happens with this artist, Dimash, he is doing incredible things and sharing his talent. And I'm excited to hear more songs, other songs that also have a lot of spiritual insight to it. Let me know, and maybe I'll do another reaction. But for now, that is what I have. Thank you again, Romier, for making this suggestion. I hope that you guys enjoyed this first time reaction. And yeah, I'll be back again next week with another episode of the Leather and Lace podcast. So if you want more of this kind of content and also just like to explore what this thing called life and the human experience has to offer us, that isn't just bullshit, but when we can make sense of the bullshit in a much more meaningful, spiritual way, then yeah, subscribe to the channel and don't miss an episode, which come out every Thursday. All right. Okay, friends and allies of making a more beautiful and unified world, thank you for watching and spending time with me this week. Stay grounded as you embrace the sacred. Bye for now, friends.